Are you tired of going out in public looking like a stupid bastard? Well, not anymore. Cover up your shame and let JP put his fun time inside you with EGOTASTIC tees. What are you waiting for? Click on the link below to get wet with fashion.
I'm gonna like the way you look. EGOTASTIC tees!
Hello, one and all, and welcome to a very special live show for Talking the Orville. There are things to talk about, things that you want to know about, things that I have information about, a little bit of information about. This is the penultimate live stream to the live stream that will eventually have even more information than I'm giving you guys today, but you're going to be happy. I think you're going to be very happy. A lot of you have been getting happy over the weeks as more and more information has been coming out. Comments from top tier people that there's going to be more Orville, just like last week. We talked about this. Seth MacFarlane himself on the Mike Henry podcast said, the Orville, there will be more, but he's making some... He's making studios happy right now by giving them what they want so he can get what he wants, and he wants more Orville. But there's also some other Orville news that just came out, I think today, or maybe last night, or maybe early in the morning. And there's also some Talking the Orville news to talk about. So let me introduce you, before I get to the big thing that I want to talk about, let me introduce you to a brand new product from the Orville coming out September 24th. I have some pictures right here. You might have heard about it already, but let me introduce you to the guide to the Orville ECV 197. This is a new book, a guide, a companion book for Orvillians or future Orvillians. And it will come with a book about everything having to do with the Orville universe. Even has insights from Captain Mercer, who did interviews to talk about the Orville and the Orville universe. It looks like there's a lot to it here. There is the main book in the middle. To the right, it looks like, I think that's the technical manual that you can see above you. You see the entire ship here. It's laid out and mapped out for you. A nice technical schematic here. And then on the left, I think that's probably just an awesome cover. And I assume it's coming with 4 badges, 4 disciplines. Why is the Orville coming out with more merch? Does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense because they want to get people excited for season 4. Has there been an official announcement for season 4 as of yet? Something you can go online and click on and read a little story from the Hulus or the Disneys or the whoever's? No, not as of yet. But I can tell you right now that I recently had a discussion with Orville Production. We're talking the highest tier you can think of, that the Orville hashtag Renew the Orville is done. You guys, why is this hashtag done? Renew the Orville. Because the Orville has already been renewed. It's not officially out there for you to click on, but it's been officially communicated to me that the Orville has been picked up for a 4th season. Not a movie, not comic book series, not an animated show, a 4th season with the characters that you love and the stories that you love and the universe that you love. And when's it going to happen, JP? When's it going to happen? Don't have an exact date, but I do know that they're just waiting for some contractually obligated content to be done, to be fulfilled. Some obligations need to be filled. And once it is fulfilled, they're going into production ASAP. And ASAP as soon as possible. And the only thing that needs to be done is the other content that needs to be done. And then it becomes possible. Isn't that amazing, you guys? Can you click on stuff? Is it just me saying this to you right now? Yes, from personal experience, I'm communicating with you what I know. But there's nothing for you to click on. There's no sources. Why? Because I am right now your source. I am the person to click on. And guess what? You're already here. What's going on, you guys? Are you excited for this? The Orville is coming back, and it's not going to be a movie. It's not going to be the comics, though we might get all that stuff someday. It will be a 4th season, and there's some merch coming out, official merch on September 24th, the guide to the Orville. There's no pre-orders yet for the guide. It looks beautiful. I want this thing so damn badly, but I'm not going to be able to get it. But anyway, when the pre-order becomes available, I, of course, will be sending you guys that link and say, click on this and get yourself a pre-order for the guide to the Orville. Why did Disney remove the Orville from Disney Plus? It's only partly removed, Darth Thor. The Orville is still an official Hulu product, so it's still on Hulu, and it's still on Disney Plus, from what I hear, if you have the Disney Hulu bundle. I'm guessing the reason it's not just on plain Disney Plus is because probably its license ran out. It has to redo all that stuff. Sure, it's all the same company, but no, it's multiple companies underneath one umbrella. They still have to make contracts with each other. So I'm guessing Disney Plus had a license for certain areas. That license ran out, I'm assuming, because these things happen all the time. But also the Orville is still available on much of Disney Plus all around the world. All around the world. World. What's going on? Chris Ray, more excited than you can know, JP. Love the Orville. Curtis State says, when? 2030? I don't think it'll be that long, but I don't know when. I'm guessing it'll be, well, they might start production a lot sooner, but I'm guessing late 2025, 2026 maybe, which will be here sooner than you know it. But in order to get this wonderful thing, other things that are wonderful need to be produced and put out there so that the studio gods say, yes, you have fulfilled the contract. You may now go do this other wonderful thing. Darth Thor, oh, I need to get the Hulu package. I thought it was just gone. Yeah, a lot of you have looked into this for me because I don't have Disney Plus right now. I barely got Hulu, but I got me some Hulu because I got a great Black Friday deal, 99 cents a month. So I'm able to kind of afford the Hulu right now. So I got Hulu for a whole year. What a great deal. A whole year, 99 cents a month. So I still got till the next Black Friday to cancel that thing or renew it. Movie Mouths. And yes, I shall be shooting my Orville fan film this weekend, Escape to Earth. Oh, I love it. Once you got something to show some people, send me a link. I want to see it. I want to see what you're doing. That's right. The future of Talking to Orville is community. Phase 4 is community and inclusivity. We are all coming together. For instance, this Saturday, this weekend, the 27th of April, we will be doing the episode 1, the first campaign for the Orville RPG game that we're playing. The link is in the descriptions, or it's the next on after the stream. Also, next week, May 4th, we're doing something new that I've been putting off doing because I want to bring this community together to help celebrate and to help the community grow, get eyeballs on the Orville so that when season 4 finally premieres, it's just going to be the biggest audience any show's ever had. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Mandalorian. We're going to beat you, Mandalorian. Next week, we're doing We Are the Orville. Whereas what that is it's going to be a live show just like this one. But you from the community, 5 people, I'm picking 5 people from the community to join me live right here on screen. And we can have a conversation about the Orville episode Twice in a Lifetime. That's a episode a lot of people like to talk about. People don't know if Gordon got to keep his family, if his family got erased, this and that. Lots to talk about. Lots going on with that episode. We're going to be talking about it right here with you guys. All you got to do is, if you're a patron You just go to the post about We Are the Orville and put your name in as someone who's interested. And then once I get a bunch of names in, I'll pick 5 of them from a random drawing, and those 5 people will be sent a link so they can join the discussion on May 4th. But that's not all, you guys. I'm also putting together, knowing that we are a strong community, but there's a lot of community leaders. There's a big handful, 2 handfuls of Orvillian fandom leaders out there, not just me. There's Mission Log, there's Orville Nation, there's the Orville Wiki, all kinds of wonderful people that are known to the community. I want to bring us all together, to come together right here live for you guys to not only talk about the Orville, but to see what you guys are doing with the Orville. I'm calling it the Union. So pretty soon, once a month, I'm going to be doing a live show here and talking the Orville called The Union, where we have the community leaders come together to dissect seasons of the Orville. May the Orville be with you, Jacob Gottwald. May the 4th be with you, the 4th season. Sci-Fi Mombi, I love that talking the Orville. Great show idea. Thank you very much. I decided it's time. I've been doing this lone wolf for years now because I'm a lone wolf type of guy. But as the community's grown over the years, I'm like, you know what? We really need to put the community up front, not just have me, just some bearded dude talking to you guys. We need to bring you guys on as well, and we can all have a great time chatting about the Orville. Darth Thor says season 3 was amazing. Hope season 4 is that quality or better. I think it will be that quality and better. Actually, I don't know if it'll be better. It's going to be hard to beat that. But to rise up and be just as good as season 3, no problem. We can do that. Sentai Ranger Donnie. Is that Don Ranger Power? Me too. Talking to Sci-Fi Mombi, despite Boom Studios ending the Power Rangers comic book series after 8 years. Those jerks. That's what studios do, you guys. I don't know why we put these studios in charge. Kevin Stanfield, bring it on. The Orville Rock season 3 was the greatest. I'm so glad you liked it. I loved it. Of course, some people got their season 1's their favorite, season 2's their favorite, season 3. They're all my favorite. I appreciate each series for what it is. And each series has its own vibe, right? It is. It really, really is. DCKP. The Orville fandom is thriving. That needs a little special recognition. Let's put that on the screen. That I have. Huck's Pop Culture Cafe asks a very interesting question. Any new trading cards coming our way? I know that they were working on a season 2. This is years ago. What was the company? The something Rittenhouse Publishing, I think, did the season 1 Orville trading cards. And I know they were working on season 2. They had special pictures of the cast, and they're going to do the whole thing, but I have not seen a release of season 2. And now we got season 3. And soon, not as soon as we would like, but soon enough, season 4 will be out there. They need to really catch up on these trading cards. Archimage says, need those Funko Pops and Playmates action figures right after this new book. Right. I'm really excited about the book, though. The first book they did, The World of the Orville, came out with season 1, was so informative. It was so nice. So many behind-the-scenes pictures and just in-depth information about the Orville universe, the races of the Orville, the planets, the ships. It goes through the whole thing. I'm really interested to see what this new book brings to the table as far as new information and more expanded information goes. It's written by Andre Bermanis. I mean, the dude is a legit dude. Also one of the executive producers of the Orville, one of the co-writers of the Orville. And of course, Andre's had a lot of experience with other sci-fi, including a lot of Star Trek. Movie Mouse. I know with my cast, they're all watching the Orville, so they have an idea what's going on with this series. That's another great way to get people to watch the Orville. Cast them in an Orville fan film and then make them watch the Orville. Good idea. I see what you're doing there. Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. Yes, Rittenhouse did season 1. So bummed to see nothing since. Those were great looking cards. Yes, I do remember. I had a bunch of those cards, thanks to you guys. And I had many multiple sets of them that I gave out to different winners on the Patreon page. Full-on binders with entire sets or close to entire sets. Archimedes says, plus an Isaac Pop could be interchangeable with Mr. Potato Head for some synergy, baby. That's right. That's right. I think I had a dream of a Mr. Kalon head. And it's basically a potato that was just silver and then had all the Mr. Potato Head pieces. Hey, JP, who do you think is the best written character in the Orville and why? For me, I think it's Kelly, but everyone's going to have their favorite. I mean, you could say Ed, you could say Dr. Finn. I always identified the most with Kelly's character, the things that she's been through, the things that she's done, trying to have a love life, trying to have a work life, all that stuff. She seemed the most grounded character. I think she's written to be the most grounded character. Ninetober9 says, come on. The alien with a blue ejaculated head had me hooked in the first episode, talking about Derulio, the Retepsian, played by Rob Lowe. And pretty much seems like that's what's going on with his head when he's excited. Or maybe he just gets really sweaty for some reason. Good old Derulio. In this weekend's the Orville RPG game, episode 1, I am playing a Retepsian pilot who's really good at piloting. I don't know what else I'm good at yet. I have to play and get reacquainted. We created the character a few weeks ago, got all the stats and all that stuff. Just can't wait to put him in action and see how this story goes. I've never played any type of D&D campaign or Magic the Gathering or anything like that. So I'm excited that we get to use our imaginations because I got one of those to move the story forward. Archimedes says, I just saw Chief Newton on the Animal Control sitcom. Need him back on the Ville too. Yes, Chief Newton, played by, what's his name? I know his name. I can't remember it right now. Larry something, I want to say. I could be wrong. Anyways, a really good improver, I can tell you. I've seen him do improv way before the Orville ever did anything. But it would be great to see Chief Newton. Chief Newton went off to build a space station. Was at the beginning of episode 11, New Dimensions, in season 1 of the Orville. And that's when John Lamar became the new chief, because he's a super smart brain. Oh, yes, he can. 9tober9 says, and Seth is quite okay as an actor. Let's face it, that guy can multitask. Yes, he can. The guy is a very, very busy guy, and he's doing a lot of things, getting a lot of stuff done, as well as still doing music. I don't know how he finds the time. And I think as far as an actor goes, I think he's gotten better and better with each season. Curtis Tate, I agree. Animal Control is a good show. I'm a few episodes behind, but I've pretty much seen a good majority of it. They have a new season out right now. Animal Control, you guys, check it out. With Joel McHale is in the lead role. It's kind of like Parks and Rec, Office type of show, but it takes place at animal control. It's always good to find a department of the government to base a comedy show after. I was thinking they should do one called DMV. I just don't know. I don't know what it would be, but it had the DMV involved. People might not watch it because they don't want to hang out at DMV for half an hour. Kevin Stanfield, Gordon Malloy is my favorite character. I was sad to see Charlie died. Sorry that Charlie died. She was a great addition to the crew. Yeah, at first everybody hated Charlie, which they were supposed to do. She was written to be that way. And then, you know, her character grew over the season and was redeemed. And then she got redeemed so damn well that she got killed off. Or did she? We'll have to wait and see if Priya has something to say about that in season 4 or maybe season 5 or 6. Maybe they do a whole season without Charlie and then they bring her back for season 5 with Priya. I think Priya might have had need for a fourth dimensional thinking person. They're very hard to find, and maybe they needed somebody with that mind, so they went and stole Charlie right before she got exploded. John Burns says, I'm at the Calgary Expo this weekend. I'm meeting with Laurie Metcalf. Awesome. Jackie from Roseanne. Oh, I love that's who Laurie Metcalf is. She's great. And the Connors. I'm cosplaying as John Candy's Uncle Buck. Laurie danced with John in Uncle Buck photo. Yeah, she played the neighbor that came over. Also, if you watch Young Sheldon, the actress who plays Sheldon's mom, who's basically reprising the character from Big Bang Theory. Laurie Metcalf played Sheldon's mom. And then this new actress, because it's a prequel, it's young Sheldon. She seems a lot like Laurie Metcalf. She's doing such a great job. Turns out that actor is Laurie's daughter. That's why she's so good at playing a character just like her, because it basically is 50% her DNA. Isn't that crazy? Booger says, I think Clyden is the most interesting character. Not only is he the civilian on the military vessel, but he is the zealous convert to the Moclan cause. Yet he just wants his family together. Or does he? Is it all a red herring? Is he a spy? Did Clyden come back because Moclan wants him to spy on the Orville? And so he's just playing the game of, I love everybody. Everything's great, but really he's there going, I'm going to give information to the Moclans. Oh, that'd be messed up. I hope that's not true. It could be true, but I hope it's not, because we went through a lot of trouble with Clyden. And so it's nice to have Clyden finally be back on our side. Fingers crossed, hopefully. JP, could you possibly give us a rundown of Orville actors featured in any current movies, TV series, single projects, etc.? I have no idea what any of them are doing right now. All I know is Seth is working on the Naked Gun reboot. I don't know what any of the other actors are doing. If they're doing anything, it's going to be small cameo roles. That's what most actors do nowadays, is they guest star on something. It's hard to find an actual gig that lasts longer than a couple weeks to a couple months, because there's too many projects and too many actors. And, not all actors are able to get all the jobs that they want. Because they're like, well, you were just on this other show the other day. We can't have you on this show too. You're showing up too much. Blah, 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 blah. Hollywood, you guys. I think Hollywood doing the acting thing is probably a lot like trying to do Uber, which I'm trying to do just to try to stay afloat. And it's not easy. I actually came home today just for a little bit to do this live stream. And then once this live stream's over, I have to finish. I have 35 more minutes, and then I got to cut it off and get back to work, because the middle of the day is just turns out to be so slow. It's a waste of gas and time. So I'm like, well, I might as well come home and get something else done. But it's so oversaturated with drivers. I downloaded the regular Uber app because it'll for riders, because it'll tell you if there's if there's drivers around you. And no matter where I go, I turn it on just to see if there's other drivers around. There's usually always at least 7 or 8 in my specific vicinity. So I'm like, ugh, this is getting oversaturated. You can barely get a ride, a gig, because there's too many other people trying to get that same exact ride or gig. That's what acting has become. There's so many people there. And there's a lot of roles, but they're all little roles. Hey, JP, got an idea. Charlie gets to come back along with her girlfriend. Maybe. That gives me an idea for a story, Barry. So maybe Priya got Charlie, saved Charlie so that she can use Charlie's brain for whatever reason. And Charlie's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do this. I'm supposed to have died. And Priya's like, I'll let you go back and save Amanda if you do what I want you to do. So maybe Charlie's waiting for that opportunity that Priya said she would give her to go back and save Amanda before she died. But I don't know. It gets so complicated. It gets really complicated because that would change Charlie's entire story. And then everything she did for the Orville probably wouldn't have happened. But then that can open up an entire other timeline. It gets very complicated. But I trust the Orville people to come up with a solution that makes sense. Big BK. So nice to see you here today, JP. Have you heard of the new companion guide that will be coming out? Yes, I have. And for anyone that missed it, it's called The Guide to the Orville ECV 197 Exploratory Class Vessel is what ECV stands for. Not to be confused with BCV, which is Battle Class Vessel. And it's going to come with not only the book, but an awesome schematic of the ship, very detailed, and then it looks like a cool cover, and maybe some patches. I want some patches. I have some things, but I wouldn't mind some more patches. Give me some patches, Orville. But yes, very excited. Comes out September 24th. I don't see any pre-order links out there as of yet, but once there's a pre-order link, I will be sending it your guys' way on the community page right here on Talking the Orville. Archimedes Frey. Oh, this is okay. Archimedes says, can you get a job as a greeter at Walmart and spread the good news of the Orville to all who enter? I could. I don't know if I want to do that. I'd rather just go to Walmart and talk to random people that are walking around. Say, hey, did you know the Orville's coming back? But that makes me think about, I would love to get a W-2 job, but I'm stuck. I can't get a W-2 job. You know why? So like right now I'm doing the ride share, Uber, Lyft, all that stuff. Because, you can go make a pittance, hardly any money. They're not paying you what your time is worth in your car and the danger you're putting your life into. But you got to know that going in and make what you can of that. So I can make money, a little bit of money daily or right away. I don't have enough money to not get paid for 2 weeks. Because if I go get a job, I have to work there for 2 weeks and then get paid. I wouldn't be able to survive the 2 weeks. So I'm kind of stuck doing what I'm doing now until the channel gets remonetized at the end of June. And then hopefully I'll be able to make a little bit over a month, and then they'll pay me out a little bit. We shall see. I'm stuck, you guys. I'm like Zod in the, what's it called? The Shadow Universe or whatever the glass that he's trapped in is called. Shadow Realm, isn't it called? John Burns says, Priya and Charlie kissing in a tree. Kissing. Movie Mouse. Substitute teaching is a case of watching a website to see when the potential jobs might be. Frustrating, LOL. The whole world is frustrating right now. So we got to make the best of it. We got to have a good time. Phantom Zone. There you go, Archmage Frey. We got to have a good time any way we can. Safely, of course. And for me, a good time is talking about the Orville. Can you film your Uber passengers as you tell them about the Orville? I could probably film myself. I have told a couple people about the Orville. I usually just try to be a good listener. That seems to be the best. You know, people, you know, they'll come in. I was just like, you know, hey, how's it going today? Hope you're good. Blah blah blah. And if they keep talking, then I just give them enough to keep talking. Like, oh really? Oh wow. You know how we do. You know how language works, and it keeps them going, and they enjoy it. And then sometimes I'll share something about myself that applies to whatever the situation is. And actually, doing the rides, talking to new people every single day has reacquainted me with my own social skills. I used to have really great social skills. Then working on the internet all the time, it kind of makes you become a recluse. You don't want to see people in the real world anymore because you just see horrible stuff they're doing on the internet all the time. But then when you're picking up people, you realize, oh, in real life, people are pretty nice most of the time and have interesting things to say. There's real people. So I've kind of been regaining my social skills that have waned a bit over the years. And that's what's inspired me to say, hey, you know what? We need to bring people together. So that's why, of course, we have 5 of us playing the Orville RPG game this Saturday. I usually wouldn't do that because that's a lot of people, but I'm feeling better about it now. Next week, some of you guys will be picked to join me live to talk about the Orville episode twice in a lifetime. I'm also putting together a large team of Orville Fandom leaders to start doing a live show once a month to talk about the Orville from a place of Orville Fandom leadership, whatever that is. That's a phrase that shouldn't exist, but it does. And more things coming. I want to be more social going into phase 4 of Talking the Orville. What's up, Mark Lawrence? Everyone say hi to Mark Lawrence. Great guy, awesome fan of not only sci-fi, but of the Orville. How you doing, Mark? Mark says, hey, JP, just popping in from work. Daniel O says, monetize, and promote. That was always going on in my head the last few years. And I finally decided, you know what? F that mentality. Let's just love on the Orville and love on the community and get together and have great conversations and fun talking about the show. Akinar says, late to join. Sorry, is it really happening? Yes. There's no official links. Don't take it with a grain of salt. This is legit. The Orville has been picked up for another season. We just don't know quite when it's going to happen. There's some things that have to be produced first so that the Orville can then go on and be produced. But as soon as the gates are open, they're going to start ASAP whenever that P is. ASAP as possible. So yes, it's happening. There's no more renew the Orville. The Orville is renewed. Now it's announce the Orville. Hashtag announce the Orville, because they have not officially announced it yet. Enough of us know it's going to happen. Seth MacFarlane basically said it's going to happen last week on the Mike Henry show, but we have not had the studio say it's going to happen yet. Probably for business reasons. There's just not business time to do it. It's all stuff we don't understand. If you're not directly in a high level in Hollywood, you're not going to quite understand, just a little bit. I only just understand it a little bit, plus a couple extra little bits. But that's about it. You can't truly understand what goes on in Hollywood unless you are right there in it and and up high. What's up? Is it Kuhin or Kujin? Comic art. Let's put it up. Oh, it's Alex Portman from Miniature Dragons. What's going on, Alex? I'll be seeing you this weekend. Can't wait. I'm trying to remember what your character was. Did we learn about your character? I don't remember. Yeah, Booger says Seth said there will be more. We don't know what form more will take, do we? Yes, we do. It is a 4th season. I got confirmation yesterday from the toppiest source you can think of from very high level that it is a 4th season. Not a movie, not a comic book, though I hope we do get more comics. So we do now know it's a 4th season. I assume it's been picked up for a 4th season on Hulu, but I don't know that for sure. But I somewhat confidently think it is going to be on Hulu. But I could be proven wrong with that one. But it doesn't matter as long as it just comes out somewhere. Wherever it comes out, that's where we're going to be, right? DEC says, do you think that there could be a council of Gordons or Prias in the multiverse because of what happened to the respective timelines? Okay, I was thinking about this the other day. I wasn't thinking about a council, but I was thinking about the multiverse. Okay, so we've talked about this before. Gordon, when he got thrown back in time in Twice in a Lifetime, this is what we're going to be talking about on May 4th with We Are the Orville. So I guess this is a good way to get our feet wet. Gordon was split into like 5 or 6 different Gordons and thrown back in time. So, you know, the thought on that is, oh, he was sent to 5 different places. You know, maybe there's a Gordon in the 2000s. Maybe there's one in the 1990s. Some other time. No, what if they all went to the exact same place and started 5 different universes where he landed in 2015, 5 different universes that were created right there. Well, one of them was in the Orville universe and the other ones start off other universes. And then it plays out from that moment on. And then who knows how it ends up in each universe, maybe pretty close to the same way, maybe completely different. Maybe there's a universe where Gordon never broke his silence, never introduced himself to the outside world and just stayed in the woods, eating animals. Who knows? But it's a possibility. What's up, Kevin Scott? Hey, JP, glad I caught you before teaching. I got you before teaching. Don't make me teach you. Glad you made it, Kevin Scott. That's what it takes. It's that one says, I've got my daughter and son-in-law into the Orville, and they love it. Of course, all you got to do is introduce somebody to the Orville, and they're going to love it. But that's going forward. Besides community, besides inclusiveness, our mission together is to introduce the Orville to as many people as we possibly can without being annoying. Just say, hey, have you checked out the Orville yet? Check out the Orville. Do it. I'm going to watch the Orville right now. You want to watch with me? Go on the social medias. Oh, the Orville is awesome. Hashtag announce the Orville, blah, blah, blah. Get people watching it. I'm doing my part. I'm putting out the Orville shorts right here on Talking the Orville. We're getting 30 to 45 million views on those shorts per month. So people are getting introduced to the Orville. And that's the whole goal of it. Oh, excuse me, microphone. Until I get remonetized and I'm getting rid of all shorts. We've been through this before with the shorts. I don't trust shorts anymore. I'm not going to mess with shorts anymore. I'm going to stay monetized this time. But we have to introduce everyone to the Orville so that when season 4 finally hits, boom, it's undeniable that it's a hit. Gets so many views, they renew it for multiple seasons going forward. And it becomes more than just a passion project for Seth MacFarlane. It becomes a needed project that studios want, and they need it season after season after season. Shane Blythe says it'll likely go to Disney. I think so. I think with Hulu, it'll be just like season 3. It'll be a Hulu original that also gets shown on Disney Plus because Disney owns all of it anyway, right? May the 4th Orville season be with you, and with you, Movie Mouse. Thank you very much. Barry says, Happy Joloja. Praise Avis. Praise Avis indeed. I'll praise him. He's right over there. We praise you, Avis. Hi, JP. Hi, Avis. We try harder. I know you do. Silly old Avis, you guys. Millions of views ain't the same as millions of viewers. Okay, maybe it's hundreds and thousands of viewers. But all I know is I get thousands of comments every day. And a lot of those comments are, what show is this? How do I watch this show? Let me know. Where is it on streaming? Is it on TV? And I let people know. Well, the ones that I can. It's a lot. I don't have a lot of time. But I try to hit up some of them. Say, yes, it's the Orville. You can find it on Hulu or Disney Plus, wherever it's at in your area. It's mostly going to be one of those two places. Barry says, I meant, what if the Gordon they rescued isn't their Gordon? Might not be. I think it is because, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be. It could be their Gordon, but their Gordon from another universe. Absolutely. But I don't know. It could go either way. I think it's theirs, but they did have to. Well, actually, they had to edit that episode because they messed up. Gordon was there for like 6 months before he sent out the distress call. But when they went back and got Gordon, they got him. They picked him up before he was able to make the distress call, which meant they never would have received the distress call to know they had to go back and get him. So in the final edit, well, they first released the episode and they had that mix up in the edit. So they went back and re-edited it and re-uploaded it. So it's like a 3 months difference instead of a 6 months difference, something like that. Yes, Mark Lawrence. And this is thanks to the shorts that I put out for the Orville. Dude, 100K is fast approaching. Yes, this channel was what? Couple, like 2 months ago, it was like at 50,000. And now it is at exactly 93,795 subscribers. Subscribers really don't mean much. A lot of people think they do, but it is a nice social proof. So now we're finally, I've been getting, let's see, in the last 28 days, this channel has gotten over 26,000 new subscribers, and they keep coming every day. So every day I'm getting like 500 to 1,000 new subscribers. So hopefully by the time the channel gets remonetized at the end of June, we'll have over 100,000 subscribers on this channel until I put out a video and they're like, hey, this isn't the short channel, and they unsubscribe. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm sure it won't drop all the way to 50,000. Argmage says, oh, that could be interesting. Gordon suddenly starts having entropic cascade failure because he's the wrong quantum signature and they have to try and locate their Gordon. That'd be crazy. That is a great idea. And as we learned with season 3, Seth likes to take storylines from previous seasons and previous episodes and bring them up to date, bring them up and make a new episode out of them. So it would be great to get a 3rd installment of the Gordon and Laura saga. What's up, Starbase? Starbase says, woohoo! Almost there, JP. So now we know, you guys, the Orville is picked up. Now we go out there and we let everybody know how much we love this show, but also how important this show is to human society. It lets us know how things could have been in hindsight, because in hindsight, when we get to the future, people are like, man, this future sucks. And well, we should have followed the Orville. We could have been like the Orville, but we messed it up, because that's what it'll be. The future will be messed up, but we could have had the Orville if we got out of our own way. Alex or Kujin, or I want to say Kujin. JP, what are you looking forward to seeing in the 4th season, mate? Well, I am looking forward to seeing if we got Anaya, if Ed's able to save Anaya and get his daughter back, Gently Falling Rain. I want to see married life for Isaac. How's Isaac navigating actually being married? Because I'm sure he's going to do a lot of stuff wrong, trying to do stuff right. He's going to do stuff wrong, and he's going to have to be shown the right way to do things to be a great partner in a relationship. And a stepfather. He's officially a stepfather. What happens when he has to reprimand one of the Finn kids, put them in timeout, something like that? So there's going to be a lot of things that we all take for granted that they're going to put in Android terms, so an Android can understand it. That's going to be fun. Yes, what's up with Topa? I'm sure Topa will be full-fledged adult in the 4th season. And so I'm guessing she'll probably be late 20s. I don't know if they'll get the same actor, because she might, you can probably age her up a little bit. She's playing a Moclan. Why not? I think we're going to learn more things about the Moclans, not only just Bortus and Clyden and their hijinks that they have, like smoking and being susceptible to this or that, or not understanding this or that, or getting that corner piece. We're going to learn more idiosyncrasies about those two, but also I want to learn about actual planet Moclus and their government and why. As we know, they hide the fact that female Moclans are born pretty regularly from what it looks like, but they hide that from society. Society thinks that female Moclans are maybe born once in a generation. Obviously not true. Where does that come from? In their history, in their lineage, in their ancestries? When did it start? When did they start killing? I assume they killed off the females before they learned how to do sex reassignment surgeries. Where did that come from? Why did they do that? I have my own theories. I think it has to do with evolution. And the males were probably stronger. They're like, oh, females weak, bash on the head and get rid of them because we don't need them because we can reproduce on our own. Something like that. But I want to know what happens when Moclan society, who's probably got some pretty good people in it, when they start learning that they've been lied to all of these years, these centuries, all of that. There'll probably be a huge backlash. But also Moclus is teamed up with the Krill. How long is that going to last? How long are the Moclans in their patriarchal society going to take orders from a female Krill? I'm sure they're going to be trying to get the upper hand and take charge any chance they can get. And that's not going to be good. What happens when the Calivan get in the mix? The Calivan are pretty much an even match with the Kalon. They're the most powerful out there, and they really don't care about other societies. They don't respect them, so they don't really care about them. What happens if they get in the mix? I do know that in the episode coming up in season 4, Sympathy for the Devil, which is going to be a great episode, there's supposed to be some Caliban in that episode. It's more of a flashback type situation, but there's Caliban in the flashback. I don't know if we'll get any Caliban updates from that episode, but maybe in another episode of the season. I want to know what happened to the bioship from If the Stars Should Appear, the giant ship with the people living on it. What happens to them now that they've been made aware that they're on a ship and there's space out there, and that they're the person they worship was basically just the person who built the ship? Liam Neeson's, you guys. He's got a particular set of skills. I want to know all this stuff. There's so many things. What about Yaphet, now that Norm Macdonald has passed away? What are they going to do about Yaphet? Is he going to split and become two new Yaphets, two new personalities, two new characters? Or are they just get someone else to play the voice? Darth Thor says, I have like 1,000 things I want to see. Same here. I also want to see what characters they bring in for the new season. New season means you got to have some new blood. Audiences love that. It's also a great way to explain context by having a character that doesn't get the context, and then you explain it to them, and therefore you're explaining it to the audience. I want to see a new point of view, a new character. We need someone to sit in that navigator seat, so we're going to need a new navigator. Dan Crane says, JP, where do you see the storyline of Ed's daughter developing in season 4? Do you think Seth will seriously focus on her character development? Character development, that'd be tough. At her current age, well, she'll be a few years older. Plus, we don't know how quickly Krill's age. Maybe it's closer to a Topaz situation. So I don't know if they're going to develop her character very much at this stage. But I think saving her will be a big part of the season, because you got the whole Talia thing going on. Talia is in custody right now. Will she stay in custody, or will she escape like she did last time that we got her in custody? I'm sure Talia is going to hold Anaya over Ed's head to try to get some sort of leverage in order to escape. So we'll see how that goes. And what happens if Ed actually does save Anaya, get her off of that planet onto the Orville? What about her skin? Is she able to be in the sun, or is the sun is ultraviolet rays going to be hazardous to her? There's a lot of things to figure out, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. Eric Pullman says, JP, do you think Moclans are like snails, as in after they have sex, both individuals can produce offspring? I don't know. We know that they can do. They can have eggs, and those eggs, the way eggs work is one lays an egg, and the other will fertilize the egg. So I don't know exactly how they plan on making that work. Also, is it a natural development where Moclans can lay eggs, or is that something that Moclan scientists introduced into the society without the society knowing it? Maybe they poison the water or something like that, which makes it so that males can reproduce. Maybe males couldn't initially reproduce, and then they used science to make it so. Make it so, number one. Alto Sack says, I want Talia to escape again and cry havoc everywhere. You need psychotic enemies as a foil. I think she is to the point where she would be a psychotic enemy. She's went way too far to be redeemed, in my opinion. And then holding Anaya over Ed's head as a bargaining chip. Ooh, that's really bad. Daniel, we need so many more seasons. Well, I know we're getting at least one. And if we make season 4 huge, we will no doubt get season 5, 6, and beyond. But we got to make season 4 huge so that no discussion is even needed with the studios. The studios will be asking for more. I mean, these things are tough because a show like the Orville is incredibly expensive. So even if you get a lot of views, you still gotta. You're not going to have. You're not going to make a huge ton of money. You're hoping to break even or make just a little bit more. So we can really make it so right off the bat they know that they're going to be making their money back and then some. The studios will be asking for more and more and more. Moreville. Hashtag Moreville, hashtag Forville. Pyrex says, what if Yaphet's offspring are also Claire's due to that time when she let him embrace her? I don't know if I'd call it embrace. It was a lot more than that. While on Retepsian pheromones. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if the mitosis works that way with the jellies. I don't know if anyone's implanting anything in anybody as much as they're just splitting in two. But I'm not a science doctor, so I don't know the ins and outs of mitosis. Barry says, nothing against Jessica Zor and her character, Tala, but I would love to see Alara come back because I feel like they have done more with Alara than they have with Tala. I agree. I don't think they've done enough with Tala. They've done some things. If you read the comic Heroes, which is the Orville comic, I can't remember exactly what episode that was, 5 or 6, something like that. It's a great Tala story, and you really get some Tala stuff going on in that story. But it's a comic book. Comic books are considered soft canon by production, but it's not an official episode. So I would like to see some more Tala stuff going on. We got a little Tala information in the Mortality Paradox episode in season 3, but it wasn't really Tala, so it didn't really count. But the stuff that fake Tala was talking about her parents and this and that, I would like to see more of that. We also know that Tala, her family is military, which is looked down upon on Celea, but her whole family is military. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that. The whole family is basically outcast. But also, yeah, let's bring back Alara for at least an episode or two. We'd love to see her get into some action, not just a, hey, what's going on, you guys? How have you been? Open any jars of pickles lately? No, I want to see her tear it up. Eric Pullman says Melissa Villaseñor would make a great jelly. Oh, she would. She has such a great voice to play a character like that. If you guys don't know Melissa Villaseñor, she was on Saturday Night Live a couple of seasons ago. She was a regular cast member. Really great singer. But she sounds kind of like a Muppet. Like her regular talking voice kind of sounds like this a little bit. She would be great. Yeah, Kevin Stanfield says, I want to see where the Admiral that was transformed into an alien story goes. Yeah, the Spider People. We introduced the Spider People. We know there was more development on those people. They actually have different phases of abilities and looks as they transform. I think the Admiral is only phase 1, where he just becomes a spider person, but there's 2 more phases after that with different armor and weaponry and all kinds of stuff. So we haven't seen that yet. Would love to have that developed more in season 4. And oh my gosh, you guys, it has been an hour. That means I have to go back to work. I only came home to do this live show because the middle of the day sucks, like I said earlier in the stream. And now it's time, at least for the next 3 hours, it should be decent enough to do some rides and make a few bucks, which is greatly needed to help keep the lights on. Stay on, lights. You stay on. And so I'll have to say goodbye. We'll pick up this conversation soon. I do want to do a lot more live shows. And like I said, I'm going to bring you guys into the live shows. I'm also bringing leaders of the Orville fandom into the live shows with the Union episodes. We'll be leaders, admiralty of the Orville. We Are the Orville is you guys. That's next week, May 4th. Check the link in the description. If you're a Patreon and you want to be on the show, submit your name on the Patreon page. If you're not a patron, just become a patron and put your name on there, and you will be put into the drawing. 5 of you will be chosen every single month to join We Are the Orville, because we are the Orville, and there's more Orville to talk about. It's great. So I'll see you guys very soon. You all have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Douglas. Big BK. Thank you, Movie Mouse. Thank all you guys. There's a lot of you here right now, but I will see you very soon. And remember, we all do better when we all do better. Love you. Bye-bye.
EGOTASTIC fun time, we're gonna have a great time. EGOTASTIC fun time, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your 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 money.